Okay, hold on. We're almost there.
Are we gonna? Oh, yeah.
I
I think we're recording. Okay, so just so you
No,
know,
it's fine. We're
I'm
fine.
just letting
We're raw.
Brady know. I'm just
Oh,
letting
sure.
Brady know we're recording. Just to let you know.
thank you. Appreciate it. I'm gonna grab
All
Not
right.
that you're gonna do something wrong. Oh yeah. Right. Everybody's grabbing water. Water.
Yes, water is important. Stay hydrated.
How
All
are
right,
you
just make
feeling?
sure
I
to have
remember you
your-
were a bit under the weather. How are you feeling?
Yes, I am feeling better. It was, I guess it was, they just said it was like a really bad asthma attack that really got me into just a little bit rough lung situation.
Everything is respiratory now. I swear the last time I got sick, it's still just every now and then I still have a slight cough and it reminds me, you know, that drives me nuts. So it's almost psychosomatic at this point.
All right.
Anyway. So, wow, this is an honor, kid. You know what? Going live, this is important. You know what? I need to text my kid. His name is Mason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. I have to edit that out. We're not live or anything, are we, Mark? We're just
We
on
are
a Zoom
live.
call. Oh, we are live. Cool.
Yeah, we are live.
That's cool.
Can everyone hear us all right?
I want to see the chat.
I'm hearing an echo. So
No,
can
same
everyone
thing
hear
as
me?
last time. Same thing as last time. I hear nothing. Sounds great. Brady, what do you hear?
I'm hearing perfectly fine.
It's the same thing as last time.
Yep.
Well, we tried this before and he got this. He was hearing all the conversation on a delay also in his headphone. And it took him like a minute. And I think it was like he got it figured out quick though. And we were just testing them.
Yeah, that's good.
We had one chatter.
Okay.
I had to figure out who that person was.
Just 1 second.
Yeah. Take your time.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Okay, so let me put YouTube on my phone here
Sure.
and see if I can start texting into this and see. Do you see? Yeah. Oh, so. Oh. There it is. So that's Barbara. That is the person who chatted with us last time.
Okay.
We owe this person a t-shirt or something.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for being here again.
Yes, we
Barbara.
really appreciate it.
That's great. That is great. So, yeah, I guess I'm on a slight delay. I'm just going to cut the volume on that. And wow, this is fun.
It is. So let's wait till we got 6 people in.
Isn't that cool? Well, how come I don't see all those people? That's weird.
Yeah, 6 people in. We'll just wait a minute.
Yeah, 7.
Cool. Give it a minute. Okay. We really appreciate this, Brady. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, I'm excited. I love doing this stuff.
Great. We'll wait till we get a few more in.
I see some nice guitars back there. Sorry, I am a musician too, and I just have an eye for stuff like that. Yeah. Played many shows. Did a lot of singing, a lot of singing, and a lot of bass and a lot of rhythm guitar. But I could never get as good as my lead guitar player. Those people are like
they're
some kind of geniuses. I can't figure it out.
I know. They've memorized everything. Yeah, I got, let's see, what do I have there? That acoustic guitar right there.
Mhm.
That was my first guitar I ever got. and it was given to me by my uncle.
Wow.
Quarantine, because he got it to just like, you know, do something because, you know, we're all locked in our house, but he never really picked it up. And so when he came down to visit, he gave it to me and he was like, I know you're already playing drums and piano. How about you try to learn guitar? And I mean, I have been playing guitar ever since that day.
There's the smart
that's
uncle.
great.
Good idea, uncle. Wow.
So it's really all thanks to my Uncle Matt.
Yeah.
So I got that one, and then this red guitar. This was my first electric guitar. That was the first electric guitar I ever got. That was given to me too. And then I got that surf green Telecaster, and poof, that's when I really started, you know, taking it seriously. And yeah, my other guitar's downstairs. It's a what is that? I think it's a Martin. It's a mahogany Martin. It's so light. It's incredible. You can toss that thing up and down. You can swing around. It's so fun to play with.
Yeah.
Sweet. We got a nice collection started there. Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Exciting. And I got my eyes on this new one by Shawn Mendes. Actually, he just came out with it. It's with Martin. I was at Guitar Center and I was playing around with it. And I didn't know it at first. Like I was just playing. I was like, holy cow, this thing is incredible. And I looked down and it's got his logo there. I'm just like, well, no way. This is crazy.
Isn't that a coincidence? Wow.
It really is.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
That's great.
Feeding to my addiction.
Oh, man. You know, you can never have enough, or there's just so many music, especially you get into music, you just want more and more and more. It never ends.
Yeah. And yeah.
1,000 pieces isn't enough. That's crazy.
We'll give it a few minutes still. Sure. There's 3 people in. So
excuse me, guys.
So when does it say that the hurricane's gonna hit?
Tomorrow, most likely around like 8. So
wow.
Exciting stuff.
Are you prepared? Well, you deal with it all the time, right?
Yeah, well, we normally get like the back ends of the hurricane. So like this one is a little more serious just because it's like going back into the Atlantic and like, you know, building up more strength after it just went through, you know, Florida. So this one is hit us harder than some in the past. It'll probably turn into a tropical storm by the time it gets to us, but still even that pretty bad.
Gosh, I feel bad for y'all. We don't deal with a single thing like that.
No, all that we get is like heat strokes or monsoons.
No tornadoes, nothing.
Nothing.
No, we just have to stay hydrated, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's interesting. It mixes it up.
Arizona's the nicest. I'm going to retire in northern Arizona. Let me tell you something. Pine trees that are just a few feet apart and you just put them everywhere and it's just in the air, right? And you just breathe this air, dude. And it's like heaven on earth because, you know, I come from a long line of like these hunter cowboy type of guys, right?
Yeah.
But and they were like early ranchers in Arizona and everything, you know. My uncle, he was an electrician, but he lived like off grid. He had chickens, a couple cows, you know, a pig, and a basement where you go in there and all the walls were just lined with food in case of whatever, and just jars and jars and jars and jars. And in the middle of that room was like a pool table in case you had to go down in there.
Yeah.
Books and stuff like that, you know. And so they had the well, you know, and you could see things floating in the water, but it was fine, you know, it was great, you know. And those guys, you know, they would take me out, see, but these brothers kind of, my dad went to college and became a journalist.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was a city kid. So we would go out there, you know, and I'd have the greatest time, you know, shooting fish with crossbows, and it was a lot of fun. That was a great time. but that just made me fall in love, with camping and everything wilderness. My dad, he did really well, but he would not let us go out in like some RV or something like that. No, we had a pitch tent. We had to sleep on the
rough it.
He would allow you to sleep on a cot. He would, a mattress or a cot, and that's it. Sleeping bag. Cause man, I don't know. He was just like that. He said you're not camping if you're not doing that stuff. So
yeah, totally.
Do that stuff. Yeah.
Well, you probably got a lot of camping over there in North Carolina, no?
Yeah. They did. They got a couple good sites. They got the Taba River. People camp by all the time. But in West Virginia, me and my little brother, we would literally we would do the most random. We were outside all the time.
Yeah,
it was crazy. Like we dig a hole for no reason. Just to dig.
I didn't think kids did that anymore. I'm proud of you, Brady.
Yeah,
They just need to get a stick,
great.
And dig a hole. But we tried to dig to China, but what did you do?
We would dig a hole. We would fill it with water, and we take mud baths. We just get dirty all the time. Yeah. We go out, pick cherries from our cherry tree that we had at the time. Yeah. We'd go to the woods and build forts. We'd hit baseball, pass ball all day long. It was crazy. And then it was actually it's really cool, but kind of scary, especially at the time. So we were, we're always in the woods. We're squirrel hunting, hunting with our dad. And one day we get a knock at our door, and it's the Bigfoot hunters from the TV series.
Wow.
Are you kidding?
Could you imagine?
And they wanted to do an episode.
I know you have Bigfoot in there.
In our woods, in our backyard. So they were trying to get permission to film there.
Oh.
I haven't really looked back to it since, but I don't think the episode ever aired. So I don't guess they didn't find any Bigfoot stuff.
That's great.
That is hilarious.
That's fascinating.
Though. But it was that was it just kind of.
We don't have to feed you guys, right? Go ahead.
There you go.
That is great. That is great. So what else what do you do in your spare time? I mean, mostly, aside from anything, what's cool about that is I like camping. Even when I was a kid, there wasn't really even home computers or anything, but still we read books and, we played cards, and we even found, have you ever played Jacks? I mean, it sounds crazy, but Jacks is a really fun, hard game to play.
I remember it. Yeah.
Have you ever played it?
And I played it a while back.
I'm just having a flashback. Yeah. So you have those, what Jacks are, right? Those little things, you spin them. It looks like, but they kind of get entangled with each other, right? So that the idea is to throw them all out, right? You throw out 10 Jacks. So you have to bounce the ball and pick them up one at a time, then bounce the ball and pick them up 2 at a time.
Yeah.
3 at a time, 4 at a time, all the way to 10, right. You win. Okay. Right. You screw up, you lose your turn, so it's like a strategy thing, because you have to either clump them together or keep them sprawled apart. But it was just little things like that, that really, man. And we were I felt unplugged even then when we were only dealing with cable TV. That was it. But there was just so much TV. Now, TV, it's like TV to the 10th power. And it's everyone camping is literally hooked through a satellite, in case of an emergency, when back then it was like, you're on your own, bro. Yeah. You see a bear, I would just shoot first and ask questions later or something, but still, I just miss those simple things, but it's cool that you guys do those really naturey things. You fish and stuff. My kid,
oh my gosh,
they've got boats and stuff, and I don't really understand those things, but I really want to get into stuff like that.
I love fishing. But down here, it kind of sucks because there's not really we have Lake Wiley, but it's expensive because we don't have a boat. We don't have a dock there. So really hard to go out there sometimes, but we have neighborhood ponds, little ponds. They got they don't have anything huge, but I mean, me and my buddies, we literally walked, I think it was 5 miles one time to get from one pond to another. So we still, we still we're outside, or my little group of friends, and we're still fishing our butts off, trying to just catch one fish. Even I don't care, just to have the line cast on the clear glass water. So it's still so much fun to me.
I did.
Sure. Yeah. I grew up.
I took
with
the
it.
little ones over to the park that allows that fishing in their little pond. It's awesome. It's awesome. There's nothing like it.
But I kind of got my little, kick of nature this summer. I was working at a summer camp with some of my friends, and well, there's a lot of black bears up there, and we lived there 2 months working. That's actually the band I was playing for. I was playing for the band for the camp, and it was crazy because you'd wake up one day, open your door, and there'd be a mama bear and her cub outside your door. And you have to call up to the kitchen, telling them that you might be late because you don't want to get mauled by the bears. And they're like, okay, that's fine. And they hang up because it's like a normal thing up there.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It was. And it was even better because it was my job. Actually, part of my job was to keep the bears away from the campers. So most time I'm spending is chasing bears down the mountain with my buddy Zeb.
Oh
and
my gosh.
it was
okay, let's do an acting scene. Okay, here's your scene. Okay, I'm your director. Okay, here you are. You're in your you're gonna have to do both parts, but you're in your training, okay? And they're telling you what to do to keep the bears away. What happened during that stuff? Tell that story.
Hey, get on out here, boy. Get on out here. You're throwing rocks beside it.
Oh my god.
Oh, Ron Blake is on. We got to give a shout out to Ron.
Oh, Ron, did you see that?
Welcome to Fletch. Wow, Ron. It's only a matter of time, Ron.
Fire. I'm crying, Brady. That was so funny. That was awesome, dude. That was great.
Yeah.
They really told you to do that at a bear. What if he got the wrong idea? This is insane.
It's exhilarating. It's the most
my gosh.
Say this because it makes me sound
like which part of Carolina is this?
This is in Georgia, near
Georgia. Okay.
I hate to say this, but because it makes me sound like the dumbest kid ever. But I actually loved chasing the bears.
Oh, you know what? I would be nervous on the first couple of bears, but I guess after a while you get used to chasing a bear. You literally chased bears. Who can say they chased a bear? No, I've never chased a bear. Never done that. No. Oh my gosh. That is a great story, kid. Made me cry. Yeah. That was great.
No, it's really
oh my gosh. Well, was there ever a situation when you're like, I can't move this bear?
This is what happened. So we just got done cleaning up the lodge where they all ate. I think that this was our biggest week of camp. There's like 500 campers, and so I had to clean up really quick and get ready to play guitar for the band. And so I hear a car honking outside, and it's the project manager person beeping at a bear trying to get scared away, and it's not moving. I mean, and I come outside, and it's this little bear we look around and there's no mama around. It's just this little bear that I guess just got, released, walked away from home and is starting to live on its own. And they actually named the bear Brady Bear, which is kind of weird. But I mean, so we had Brady Bear up there all the time, and this is where like our job was like really important. Just so like the bears don't get too comfortable eating the garbage and everything on the mountain so close to the campers. And this bear was getting that. I mean, he was just around, not listening to anything. He was not afraid. And so we would spend like an hour and a half, 2 hours trying to get this bear to get away from here. And yeah, that was one of the situations where you're just like, well, I can't really, pick him up and move him. So I gotta wait it out.
That is cool. What a great experience. Oh my gosh. You got to interact with bears. I've never been so jealous. Jeez. That was great. Wow. And a double duty there. Yeah, I'm the lead guitar player and I chase away the bears. Fantastic. That is good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
And that was at your camp, huh? Wow. How long are those camp things? You stay for like a week or a month or something?
No, we worked there for, I think this year, I worked at that camp for 3 years now.
Oh,
I love it so much. Those people are great. But I think I worked there just a little over a month this summer. I know last summer I did 2 months. And the summer before that, I wasn't technically old enough to work there because I think I was 13 at the time, which is weird to say. You're supposed to be 15 technically.
Okay.
But they didn't have a guitar player or a drummer. And so I was
Wow.
4 bands, and we traveled to Florida and Blue Ridge, North Carolina. So I was only there for 2 weeks that year, but yeah.
What a great opportunity. How many people were in that band?
In the band,
Yeah.
It really depends on the week. Because I remember most times, so let's see, you had drummer, which one year was myself, and then bass, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and keyboard and singer. So there's 6. There's 6. There's sometimes 7 if another person wanted to sing, get some harmonies going, or if the keyboard player wanted to also sing too. So there'd be 7 max, I'd say.
Was it like a cover songs or Christian songs or something like that?
Yeah, it was like gospel, Christian songs.
That's awesome. Yeah, my son goes to the same camp. Wow, that's great, bro. That's so cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So what? So you don't have a lot of spare time besides video games. What do you do? I don't know.
Actually, I don't play a lot of video games.
Oh,
I'll actually show you what I do right here. This is my version of video games, is producing music.
Oh, beautiful.
So I like to make my own songs. Again, ever since I was little, I've been coming up with, I think my first song I ever made was on a Toy Story ukulele, and it was old man riding a horsey eating jalapenos. It was like the most random thing ever. But I vividly remember making that song, and I haven't stopped making songs since. And
that's
lately,
great.
beginning kind of serious. I mean, we're making full beats now.
I don't know. Is he allowed to push play on any of these things or anything? Would you like to share anything or?
Yeah.
I can.
Something you're working on? I don't know.
We would love to.
I'm just trying to come out. This is purely experimental tonight, Brady. And I really thank you. You're really helping us out a lot about doing this.
I appreciate this. This is great for me.
Great.
It's raw too. That's
I just want to hang out. It's great. And thank you, Ron Blake, by the way, who's in the chat.
Who was blowing
up
the heart,
last night's episode. This is a product of you, Ron. We would not be here if it wasn't for you, Mr. Blake.
Ron is a
good friend of ours.
Guy enough. He is, first of all, a great actor and a great community. Is amazing.
Yeah.
I just saw a picture of him carrying that bass drum. Yeah.
And hopefully, I think my friend Hans is on. I got to give a shout out to him if he is listening. Say something in the chat, man. Come on, show yourself.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is a lot of fun. Now let's talk about your acting. When did you first start? You mentioned it in the Instagram, but recap for us.
The first time I acted was 5th grade school play. But I didn't want to act. I wanted to help behind the scenes, like building sets, because my dad, he likes to build a lot of things around the house. And so I kind of want to just like take up after him and start building things. But the director, who was my teacher in school, literally said no. Wow. And put me in to audition. And I did it. I convinced myself, I was like, all right, you got this. You can do this. and I did the Goonies monologue where Chuck is in the back of the car with his blender, trying to convince them that he don't know where they are or like what's happening, and got the role of the Munchkin Mayor in The Wizard of Oz.
Love it.
So that's where it all started, and we did 2 shows, and after my scene, I went off the stage and I was in the bathroom, and I was like, I remember looking at myself in the mirror. I was just like, that was the most fun I've ever had in my life. And I was shaking. I was so nervous, but I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do this again. And so, yeah. And then, that's really where it first started. And then
you and Ron are so the same. He's telling me like the same emotions, and stuff I get from his tale too.
It was nervous. Well, I remember I was hiding behind a mushroom in in the scene where I was supposed to come out of, and I was like, I was shaking to death. I was like, all right, what if I mess up? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, this is so, how many people are out there? And I remember getting out there, and the lights are just so bright you can't see anything. So that really helped me a lot. And yeah, I loved every second of it.
I looked right into those lights playing music all the time,
and
I couldn't see a single person, and it was great. Isn't that terrible? That is so true. I did the exact same thing.
Opposite. Now I kind of enjoy seeing the people's reactions to to my lines. Or if you recognize anybody in the audience, it's kind of fun to like hint at them sometimes.
That is true.
Now, were you taking any acting classes right now?
No, not at the moment. I'm looking. I haven't taken any acting classes. Actually, that's a lie. I have taken one acting class. It was level 4 improv at Matthews Playhouse. I do remember that.
Wow. What was that like?
That was also nerve-wracking just because improv on itself is really, it can be frustrating.
I've taken that class. Well, I've taken improv class before, so.
And I haven't really done anything. That was like my first class I've ever taken. And I remember walking in there, and this one kid, Brady, and he was just killing it every time. Like he had the most crazy ideas and stories. Sure. And I was like, wow, how can I be more like that? And that class really helped me. And it really opened my mind to, really strange ideas.
That's great. And now, what were the short film that you were in? Talk about that.
Yeah,
so I'm getting all kinds of awards on the circuit.
Oh, that reminds me. I have a quick question, if you don't mind. Was that thing that you did with the museums that went to all the museums? That film that you were in there, was that something that Ron was involved in too, or no?
No, the museum.
Okay.
The museum was that one's for African American, Native American museum in Charlotte. The one I did with Ron was a airplane
commercial, right?
Yeah, like a promo video for airplane simulator. That was fun. Yeah.
I asked Ron the same question. He wasn't sure. That's why I was just doubling down and trying to ask you, because he did something for the Smithsonian, and it just rang a museum bell in my mind. I'm like, oh, is that the thing Brady was doing? And he goes, he didn't know. And I just had to ask you. That's why I went down that road. Anyway.
Yeah. Different.
But what were you talking about that?
The other film that you were in.
I see. The Agent Heads. It's called Agent Heads.
Yes, Agent Heads, exactly. It was off the tip of my tongue.
Yeah. It's a story about a homeless man who evokes his supernatural powers to help out a little girl. That was the first short film I've ever done. It was all right. It was very crazy filming that. I was in Chattanooga. We filmed that in Chattanooga. My scene was on the bridge, and my call time was 12 a.m. So midnight I was supposed to shoot.
Oh yeah, okay, I've done those.
Yeah, and keep in mind this is my first time on set. I've never done this stuff before, and I get up there and they're not here. And so I'm kind of looking around, I'm all confused, and I'm walking around. It's freezing cold. This is December 17th.
Wow.
It's raining too, so it's extra cold. I'm walking around the bridge like, well, Mom, is this where I'm supposed to be? And then I look down the bridge and they're doing another scene right below there. And so I was like, I don't really know what to do. I mean, I'm just waiting on my scene, I guess. Well, fast forward 4 hours and we finally
4 hours you were up there?
Yeah, we were up
my
4 hours
gosh.
before I got my scene. And it sucks.
Now you're a meat popsicle. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
We were like sitting in the corner of this apartment complex underneath the little, cover up, so the rain didn't hit us all night. And when they finally got there, I remember the producer came up to me and was like, "You could have stayed in this hotel lobby. We told him that y'all were coming."
Oh,
wow. Jeez, I know what you're talking about. I remember those days.
It was this like super like nice hotel, like 5 stars. Like it was like luxury. They had these kids in the lobby. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, oh my gosh, this sucks. But there's
and you didn't complain. You didn't say anything. You didn't want to be a problem. You were being polite.
Yeah.
And they just forgot about it. Oh boy.
I'm actually glad that happened though, because it helped my character.
Wow. Yeah. Hey.
It really did.
Finding the good and bad. I like that. Wow.
Yeah. I played how do I say this? A famous influencer named Jake, and he was doing a live stream.
Hold on, I'm told that it's mute, that nobody can hear it.
Are we mute? Hello?
Yes, it is mute.
What
Shoot.
is the
whole live stream? I think we should back out and back in. Hold on.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brian?
Gosh. Well,
we've been going mute for like 15 minutes, I guess.
Really? Well, it's off now. Just leave it how it is. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Anyway,
there we go. Let's see. Now can people hear us?
We good?
What's up? Brady is going places. Can everyone hear us?
Oh, they can hear us. Hold on.
Fishing is so fun. What's up? Yeah, they could hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could hear us this whole time. We haven't been really paying attention to the chat, but thank you all 7 people for coming in. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, this is
great.
Looking
good, Mark? All right.
Yeah, hold on.
Everybody loud and clear. All right, we're good.
That's great. Oh, it must have been, my friend said it must have been
guys.
Yeah.
Let me be the guy who just doesn't know anything here, because I don't know anything here. How does this all come about, Brady? Where you end up in this on this bridge in the middle of the night, in freezing rain?
Yeah.
How does it start out? Where do you get a person saying, "Hey, I want you to come over and really"? I mean, who produces this film first? Who pays for all this?
The production company. So how it works is, well, you get auditions, obviously. You send in the tape. And
what'd you do to prepare for that?
This was my second audition I've ever received. And I remember reading the script and I'm like, well, I've watched all these videos on like self-tapes on how you're supposed to do it. You got the horizontal, the light with the plain background. But I was reading the script and I was like, this is going to be really awkward doing this, a self-tape, like how you're supposed to do it. And so I went completely against that. I did the opposite. I went outside with a bunch of background noise, walking around in my neighborhood street, doing this like I'm live streaming. And I did the little monologue, did the prank, and they put it in the scene. And so I sent that got a call back. And with the call back, this one I remember it was just questions. So it was like, are you available to, you know, come out to Chattanooga? Like, are you SAG after it? And I wasn't at the time. And
that's cool too, because you're doing the influencer thing, right? And you figured, you know what, everybody's used to the selfie perspective now, and you gave it a fresh new look.
Yeah. And
clever boy.
Yeah. And another thing that was included that I had to do was skateboard, you know, like ride a bike and you know, ride a scooter. And so I was like, I set up the phone on this cinder block, and I just rode skateboard like up and down the frame, just, you know, and yeah, sent it in. And next thing you know, I booked a role, and I booked a role 2 months before shooting.
Wow.
And so I mean, you're not supposed to tell your friends and everything, but I was so excited. I told everybody.
That is awesome. Well, you endured so much. What during the shooting, what was the funnest part of the shooting?
The funnest part of the shooting was, I would say running after Jeff Cole, who plays Agent Heads in that. And funny story, I was doing the scene, and the scene was he steals my bike and takes off down the bridge, and I'm supposed to run after him. And I have the phone in my hands because we shot the scene on an iPhone 11 Pro. And so I was doing the scene how I did it exactly in the audition, just on a bridge and at 4 a.m. in the 30-degree weather with rain.
You're a hard worker, kid. I respect that.
and he runs off, and I slip on the bridge, and I fall face first, but I keep on going. I didn't stop.
Ron respects that, right, Ron?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ron's like, I'm gonna get him into stunts.
Yeah. You know, I'm chasing after Mr. Heads. That was definitely the most fun. I like doing that stuff, actually. I remember I got off the scene. They said, cut. And I'm coming back, and my mom goes, you just had your Tom Cruise, buddy. You just had your Tom Cruise moment. And I was like,
nice.
That was cool. That
is cool. Oh,
have you auditioned for anything lately, or has anything come your way?
Yeah. Well, I just shot that Universal movie in Charlotte. So that was like the latest thing I've done. But yeah, I've got some auditions that I do every week. Can't really say much about them though.
No, of course not. And explain what that's like. Is it all self-tape nowadays?
Nowadays it is pretty much all self-tapes. Besides like I know some theater shows will have you come out for callbacks, but
I would like that. I mean, overall, don't you think you can get really more forget
in person,
the outside world, and do what you need to do in the comfort of your own home, really?
Yeah, I mean,
that's
it's not
point.
Now, we had a guy on this Charlie Moore. Oh, he was such a nice guy, but he said he needed to feed off of other people. You're kind of like that too, trying to get reactions off other people. So, you know, I guess
there's pros and cons of self-tapes. The pros are you can do how many takes you want until you get it perfect, how you like it. And you don't have to leave your house. The cons are, especially for being 15, being in school with parents who have jobs, is sometimes you don't have readers. And sometimes you have to do them super late at night where we both have time to get the audition done, or super early in the morning. They also, you know, you can't like feed off the casting director or producer, whoever else is in the audition room, and really get like their vibe of what they want. Because with self-tapes, you're just like given a script, a character breakdown, and a deadline. And you got to guess. But with in-room auditions, you get a sense of what other people are doing too. so you can make different choices on the character, which is also a big thing that is nice.
That is very insightful. Kind of get a feel for the room and see what's going on. Yeah, you're smart. I like that. Very insightful.
Is there a lot of casting calls in Charlotte? Because it's all over North Carolina. Like, we are having on this actress who's just so down to earth, Lexi Giovanoli. She does a ton of like Hallmark Channel movies. Well, she produced this movie called Snapshot of Love. It was filmed in Burnsville and Asheville.
Yeah.
Primarily in Burnsville. And she's from she grew up in South Carolina and she's been out in LA. She went to LMU. Just such a talent. For her to produce something like that and star in it is just unreal. I'm sure there's a lot of more opportunities. And we over here in Arizona, we hear that North Carolina is blowing up. Talk about that. What do you think about North Carolina?
Well, Wilmington is definitely the hot shot right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's really up there with Atlanta. I mean, it's getting, side by side. I remember they shot the new Black Panther movie up there, Stranger Things, Echoes, The Summer I Turned Pretty, The Black Phone. They shot a lot of things. Halloween Kills.
Oh yeah.
They've shot a lot of stuff up there. Charlotte is interesting because they have a lot of film laws and like when you can like film at night, and Charlotte's more strict on that, but Wilmington's a little bit
laid back.
Yeah.
I think in LA you could film anywhere. Did you ever go to the Screen Gem studio in Wilmington?
No, I've never been.
I actually worked there when I was 24. I was background on One Tree Hill. I played a 24-year-old high school student.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I went down there, and they booked me and they're like, you're going to be in Karen's Cafe scene. And I'm like, okay. They call me back and they say, hey, we switched you. We're going to have you on in the high school scene. And it was a pretty intense scene. Yeah. She wore a shirt that said, I don't know if I should say it online, but she wore a shirt that said Dyke. And the principal goes, remove the shirt or be suspended. So we're in the hall, the fake hallway. Of course, it's not a real hallway. And she goes, can you hear me now, Principal Turner? And just throws the shirt off in front of us. And I'm just like, we're all just like glued. And what I remember best about it is at the end, when we did the scene, it took about 8 hours or whatever. At the end, they're like, hey man, you should hang on to that Tree Hill backpack. I had that Tree Hill Nike backpack. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's a great idea. And then they go, who has all the backpacks? We're getting them right now. I'm like, over in holding. Yeah, explain to Brian, because Brian's clueless on this. No offense. What holding is and what and all those terms.
Yeah, so I will tell you right now, acting is mostly waiting.
It is. William Tokarski taught us that.
Yeah, it is. It is mostly waiting. Just because you have all these like rigs they got to set up, all the lighting, there's a lot of stuff that goes into a production that not a lot of people know about. So yeah, holding is basically where actors go before they're needed to shoot the scene, just so they don't get in the way, because most actors really like to look around, take pictures, and video things that sometimes you're not supposed to. So holding is really like a safe place for them to go. Then obviously you have set, where you go to shoot the scene, do your job, and most times on bigger budget projects you'll get trailers. So you have makeup, you have your trailer, there's hair, costume, wardrobe, kind of the same thing. So yeah, there's sometimes you get trailers, and then you have crafty, which is most of the times, I don't care what project you're on, crafty is really good. I mean,
that's the snacks and everything.
Wait, what? Yeah. Oh,
snacks. They give you free snacks, everything.
Yes, I mean it's crazy. Like the museum one that I worked on, when it was time they called us into the gym because we were shooting at a middle school, and a real middle school actually, which was kind of interesting. And so we got into the cafeteria, and I get there and they got like salmon and steak and chicken.
Ooh.
Like,
Wow.
Dang,
what?
they do eat good.
I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Now,
We're
are
in
you
someone's
SAG?
school. How
Or
weird was
no?
that? I'm eating salmon in someone's school.
Are you a SAG actor or no?
I'm SAG eligible right now. So
Oh yeah, okay. When I was just doing it as a fly on
Can
the
you
wall in
explain
LA,
me what that? I mean, what is that?
the rule was when I was doing it in LA, you had to have 3 SAG vouchers to become SAG eligible.
Brady,
I
what
had
is
2
SAG anyway?
vouchers.
What is that?
Screen
What is
Actors
SAG?
Guild. SAG is the Screen Actors Guild.
Oh,
That's where you become a
okay.
union actor.
yeah. So
So
SAG.
what'd you have to do to get? What is it? Eligible?
Yeah, SAG-AFTRA eligibility is where you work on, and on the East Coast, I'm pretty sure it's only one SAG project.
Wow.
You get casted in a SAG project or labeled contract. And once you're done shooting with that, you get your SS number put into the system, and you get SAG-AFTRA eligibility. And basically, you do, I think it's 3 SAG-AFTRA projects, and you can't do any others until you join. So you gotta.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Okay,
so
first they verify who you are, then they make you go get a little experience, right?
Yeah,
that's the idea, and then you can't do anything until you join.
Yeah.
So it's now in the ball's in your court. And what does that mean? What do you have to do?
You have to pay the membership fee, which I think is like $3,000.
It is. It's something ridiculous like that. Yeah.
$3,000. But I mean, that covers you. I'm pretty sure there's some yearly fees, maybe. But yeah, I do know that the membership is $1,000. But with that comes, you can work on more SAG projects, number one, which is more.
Hey.
Yeah,
and these are higher production projects.
Higher, definitely. And you can vote for the Screen Actor Guilds Award. You're eligible to vote for those. You can get certain videos online that not anybody else can get. You're invited to some events too. So yeah, there's a lot that comes with it too that I probably don't know about. But yeah, it's definitely something that
Fascinating. Wow.
So it's
called the Screen Actors Guild.
Screen Actors Guild. And I don't know how they do it in the East Coast, but it was for us with Central Casting. That's where I got the majority of my work. It was a blue voucher for non-union, yellow voucher for union. Yeah. And the way that I got both of mine is I was casted by Central Casting to play on Major Crimes, the TNT show, to play in the Christmas episode. So they hand select me to play the dead Santa, and then they switch me over. This is what Brian doesn't know. They'll switch over to other characters. Switching over to a business type.
Well, you died, I mean.
Yeah, well, I'm laying in a tent, dead. They pick me between two people. And then what's so funny is sometimes they film backwards. So they film earlier scenes the next day. So they brought us to the police precinct. And it was so strange because the rule of thumb, at least in LA, is you don't double book. You don't have 2 gigs on the same day. So I had a night call over on Scandal, which is a top show, but I had the morning, they called us back to do the morning thing in the police precinct. Well, it's so funny. There was like 14 Santas were in the police precinct. 13.
That must have been really funny to see.
Yeah. 13 of the 14 Santas got SAG vouchers. The one gal that was complaining the whole time, they gave her the non-union pay. And then the other time I was hand selected by photo. I shouldn't be saying this online, for this ABC show that never even aired at Disney Studios. It was called Square Roots. And they said, we have hand selected you to be a dating app nerd. We're just going to take your photos. So I went over there. They took our photos for like 15 minutes. It's like me, some guy that looked like Kramer from Seinfeld, some kid that looked like Kramer from Seinfeld, like 4 other people. that just look really weird at Disney Studios. And we get paid, we wrap, we're get paid. So what Brian doesn't get this is under 8 hours, you get paid for the full 8 hours.
Yeah.
So we were paid like $125 for 15 minutes of pay.
Yeah.
Y'all live a crazy life. How do you do it? It's like a roller coaster. You ended up on some line, on some like, bridge in the middle of the night in the freezing rain.
What did they take your picture for if it never aired? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. With the Batgirl movie that Warner Brothers Discovery just did. I mean, it was a multi-million-dollar budget for this movie, and they just shelved it. I mean, it's never.
That's right. Yeah.
And we've talked to so many great people whose lines got cut out.
Yes, that does unfortunately.
Benio McRae in Bullet Train.
Yeah.
The guy who played the surgeon. Well, he had a whole speaking part, but it's not in there. Yeah, he was one of our first guests.
This really happens. They make these cuts, and another one of the things that stood out for me is I'm doing this scene on Scream Queens. It is it's in LA. It's not we meet at Paramount Studios, and it's over by there, and it's supposed to be John Stamos's house in the show. John Stamos gets his finger caught in the garbage disposal, and we're all reacting. We're all watching the Super Bowl. It was the Patriots versus the Seahawks, and it was just at somebody's house that rented out. They'll just rent out houses to production over there.
Yeah.
And it was just a small scene. John Stamos is there and about 10 of us. It's just unreal, some of these scenes that you get placed in.
Yeah, they see with most shows, they shoot by location. So they don't. I've never actually like seen a movie, TV show, short film be filmed like in sequential order. So like, all right, scene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. It's always like all around. So they book a location, they shoot that scene, and they go back and shoot this scene. It's like all over the place.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And the locations that some of these places book is incredible. Like I remember I did the Universal movie, and they booked a firehouse, a Mexican restaurant, and I think it was a huge parking spot for a business that I don't even know the name of, but I mean, the Mexican restaurant was holding, and so they shuttle us to the firehouse where we shot our scene on stage. I mean,
that's a lot of money being spent.
Sometimes they'll do it way out at least in LA, they'll do it out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
We were like,
Mark, Ron said you may have run into Rob Fortunato.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You know Rob?
Ron Blake said that in the chat.
Yes, Rob was the policeman in the Black Phone. I remember that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I knew you were friends online. That's great. Yeah. But one time I was doing, what was it? It was Criminal Minds. We're just out in the middle of nowhere in California. And we're like looking there was like a crime scene. It was out like there's a creek, and it's not LA. Let's just put it that way. It was like 40 miles away. And you park in the middle of nowhere, and then they shuttle you. What Brian doesn't know is a lot of these places, they have these people movers, shuttles, buses, vans, you name it.
Yeah, sounds fun to me. Sounds like a lot of fun. Hey, anyone in the chat want to ask a question? Feel free. I'm trying to keep an eye on it with one eye here. That's what I'm not checking. I'm not checking my messages, I swear. But ask a question. If you want to ask Brady a question, please chime in. Ron, anybody? We got about 7 people. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it.
I remember
this is a lot of fun.
I had an audition for a Netflix series. I didn't get the role, unfortunately, but it was a big situation because they're shooting in Mexico. Excuse me. And one of the shuttles got into a car wreck, and 2 of the actors died.
Oh my God.
Some of these times it's dangerous.
Oh my goodness. Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Have you ever filmed at any studios, or has it always been location in North Carolina?
It's always been location for me. I got lead role in another short film that I actually filmed a year ago today, which is kind of, wait, hold on. What's today's date?
Yeah.
I get so lost nowadays. It's September 30th, correct?
Yeah,
it is.
Yes.
You're right on point.
Exactly.
So October 1st actually is when I started shooting this. My first lead role in a film called The First Pennant. And we shot at an Airbnb house. And then we shot at a high school baseball field and outdoor courtyard. And we shot the last scene in a synagogue in Atlanta. And it's a funny story. Borat was filmed there too.
Oh wow.
That was a big controversial scene because they got sued for a bunch of money for that scene. It was terrible, but
wow.
We did 3 days, 3 locations. So yeah.
I bet that was an amazing adventure. Wow. Very cool. Very cool.
Another funny story. I was talking to, basically the whole thing with that film is I play a 13-year-old Jewish boy who is haunted by his own fears and anxieties that come to life in the form of a golem, which is this, this whole thing, this big, monster, almost like shadow monster. And, well, obviously that's not real. Right. And so they do that all in post. And I remember the second day, so the baseball scene, I was talking to this 20-foot long pole with
with a wig on it
all day long.
Man.
Crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. The scene, and some students who were riding skateboards in the parking lot saw it happening, and I remember they yelled cut, and I was walking to get a snack and some waters, and they were just like, "What are you talking to, bro? You're talking to a 20-foot long this pole. God,
that's who I'm talking to, the pole." Okay.
Yeah.
It's my best friend.
Oh, that's awesome. So
have you ever ran into any actors that were just pricks or whatever you want to call it? For me, I worked a handful of times on Bones. David Boreanaz had a rule: you cannot look at him. If you just accidentally look at him, you are going to be wrapped and sent home.
Worry
probably
about
blackballed
those people,
from
Brady.
Central Casting. And what was so funny is, get this, I'm doing a scene, like you said, on location. We're at a baseball diamond. Well, I'm the guy who's cleaning up the baseball diamond. David Boreanaz is doing his scene right in front of me. So it's you can't really avoid contact with him. And I don't know how I got through it, but I got through it,
That's incredible in the worst ways.
I mean, he's a great guy. I'm sure he's a great guy. They're just particular. They don't want people staring at him,
Yeah.
So maybe you could, go ahead.
Yeah, me personally, I've never really met anybody quite like that. Everybody's been really nice. I really appreciate how kind some of these people are. Especially Julie Dash, director of the museum shoot I did. She let me when I wasn't shooting, instead of going to holding, she let me sit in the director's chair and kind of help her out with directing, which was really fun to do, actually.
And you know what I think, Mark, you were in an area where a lot of crazier things go on, and Brady's in an area, that's really
more
mellow
chill,
compared to that. Honestly, I think is the big factor there. And he's obviously really raised really well. He's very polite and well mannered, and you're just really, really impressive, Brady. Hey, can you pick up that guitar and play a few chords for me?
Yeah.
Excellent.
You don't have to do anything crazy. You can do whatever you want. I just want to hear that thing ring out because I love acoustic guitars. sounds so good. I heard you knew the chords for Country Roads. Will you teach me those real quick? I couldn't figure that out. What are those?
It's G, and I don't really know why I'm playing with a capo so high, but it's just one of those weird things where you're just like, oh, that sounds good.
I do the same thing. I started listening to John Mayer and trying to make him teach me some stuff, you know, because I really dig his style. And he's like, capo's on the 5th fret. I'm like, geez,
yeah,
that took some getting used to.
John Mayer's crazy.
I don't think he's human. Yeah.
Yeah. He uses a lot of thumb. So with one of his songs.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to do with on this guitar because the action is so high. But
I recognize his style though. Yeah, that's cool. So what are the Country Roads chords?
Yeah, so Country Roads chords are G, D, E minor, and C.
Wow.
Different variations of that. I like to play a lot of like G add 9 with the 2 E and the E string on the 3rd fret at all times, and you literally just move your 2 fingers except for the D.
Yeah. That's so good for playing and singing.
Yes. Yeah, those are really easy chords to learn down. Funny story, when I first started to learn, I didn't have any picks. I had a guitar and that was it. And my fingers were literally bleeding. I have, I've, obviously got calluses now, but I'm
the same way, and I still struggled getting used to a pick. When I have to play with a pick because I'm doing a certain something, I don't know, it feels uncomfortable because I just like to use my hand. Even to strum, I'll hit it with the tip of my finger, just like you were just describing. Yes.
I mean, these are the picks that I will only get these picks just because they are so small.
Dunlop.
Do what?
Is it Dunlop?
Yes.
Is there a turtle on it? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm gonna get my pick and show you the same turtle right now.
They're very small. It feels like almost it's my finger instead of holding this, triangle that you have to like.
The Dunlop pick has this non-slippery surface to it that is just unlike any other pick.
And the sound. Oh, okay. So there's so many like guitar stereotypes, and I fit into the mute guitar stereotype. I mean, like
what's that?
Like that sound.
Oh, right.
It's just I can't get enough of that.
I grew up playing metal, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't always play acoustic guitar. I grew up in the time of Metallica, so I watched a great many things and interacted with some of those guys, and it was a great time. It was basically right in about, I guess, the late 80s, when metal was just really peaking, and then rap came and everything went, so we were actually we were playing speed metal literally, and we were listening to rap, the beginning rap, like NWA and stuff like that. We're like, oh my gosh, did you hear what they just said? And we're like listening to this, and we saw that forming and stuff, and that was even before like alternative rock and stuff like that came. That was about the time that I started to say, I like, metal and stuff like that, but after a while you just kind of get older and gravitate toward, mellower things, but that jing, 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 I will never lose my love for what you're describing right there. Yeah. Even on the acoustic guitar, there's just some songs that, I don't know, it's that muffled cool. I don't know. I feel you so much right there, brother.
The first song that I ever learned was, Smoke on the Water.
Oh yeah.
And
Deep Purple.
You hear all these people like, oh yeah, it's easier to learn through chords. And why I agree so much, it was the opposite with me. I started out finger style and then got into chord, which is not, I guess, not how you're really supposed to do it, but it was really the first thing I did. And I took one class, right? I took one class and he was teaching me notes, like, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this really a class? Like, I appreciate this, but can we just like learn my favorite song? And so I quit and I went home, got on YouTube, and I learned my favorite song, which I only learned the riff. Actually, no, I learned the full song, but it was.
Yeah.
And then, you got the.
That's such a good song. Yeah.
And so if you're ever anybody out there in the chat that wants to learn guitar, learn your favorite song first, because that will give you motivation that you can
Yeah. And you know what, it's the struggle of learning anything. You're learning the whole time. You don't have to learn music theory right away. Yeah.
Yes, totally. Get comfortable with it, get confident, then start to learn more.
That's awesome. Well, we've been on about an hour, guys. You want to wrap this up with anything, Brady? You want to shout it out to anybody? You want to what do you want to do to wind down here?
Well,
you want to play anything? You want to play, hit play on your something? And I don't know. I'm just kicking around ideas.
Yeah.
Or we can just kind of save that for next time if you want to.
I'm good to keep on going for a little bit. I have cool. One of my songs put up here that.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah, we'd like to hear it.
So I do this thing with my friends and my family, and I could actually do it right here for you guys. So I asked them to give me a note, and I put that note put it into a chord and make a chord progression out of the 4 notes that they give me. So here's one that me and my mom did lately. It was, here, I'm gonna just show you what I'm doing here. So I have it pulled up right there, the chord progression, and it's.
Oh, look at that drum kit over there too. Oh wow!
Right. And so you got that going. And it's like when you really listen to it, you can like. I don't care how musical or not musical you are. You bop your head to it, right? And so, And so with me, as soon as I hear something that I like, boom, instant idea. So you come down here, you put on any drum kit that you want, just to like get a start. Well, let me turn it up. And so it's it's starting to pick up the pace, and I love this stuff. It's so fun, and you can add some bass.
That was great already. Yeah, I mean, that was insane.
And here's some guitars I recorded. It's really like country pop delay, which is really interesting to hear on, like, because those chords are really like electronic pop. So you really.
That was already better than half of the background music I pay for and stuff, for making videos and stuff. Half of them are just like, and then once in a while I hit one like that. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'll use that one, That was just really good. Yeah, you should. Yeah.
You got the chords on the guitar. And right now it's like a. boom. But to switch it up sometimes, you can put in some drums that go completely against it, and sometimes will sound really good, like a.
Oh.
I always imagine doing it live on stage, so you can like get an idea of what the audience is gonna do. So of course, like that, every audience member knows how to clap. And so when you get that boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, I think of them getting super excited and blowing up, just be like, ah, when they hear like that, when they hear let's see here, when they hear the, they're just like, ah, and then you get the boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, and then the song starts like that. That stuff really excites me. Yeah, so I'll pull up a few more if you don't mind.
Please.
Sure.
It's really fun to do, and I do this all at my home. And so if there's any people that think that you need tons of money for a studio, you are completely wrong. You literally need a laptop. In the chat, like, get a laptop, open up GarageBand or Soundtrap, whatever you have, and just like start getting on it, man.
I saw Taylor Swift during COVID build something in her house, and I'm like, that ain't even that impressive. She did some rugs and towels and stuff. It was like a tent, and I'm like, wow. They're just blocking out, sound waves and stuff. And it was great because she didn't get all crazy or fancy or anything. She just built something up, like it looked like a fort I used to build, kind of, I was young, but it was like for her singing, and I was like, it's really cool.
Another funny story. While I was at the camp, my agent sent me over some auditions that I did. It was my first ever voiceover audition. I've never done any before. And so I grabbed the microphone from the stage, got my laptop, hooked it up, went into the offices, put a blanket in the corner, just like how you're describing, put the mic, and I mean, it sounded amazing.
Sometimes the old tricks still work. Sometimes low tech is better.
Yeah. Now, can I ask you guys this? Have you ever need to breathe?
To what?
Need to breathe.
Need to breathe. Yes.
So I've heard of them, right? I've heard some of their songs. I was recently at a One Republic concert up in Charlotte. I didn't know it, but they were opening for them, and they are extraordinary. Like, shout out to them, because like it was incredible. They had so many twists and turns in their songs. You guys should really go check them out. They are incredible. And so,
are they touring right now?
Sorry?
Are they touring right now?
They just got done with their tour with Republic.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna have to check them out. I mean, I heard of them, but honestly, I don't. I just heard a name.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I've never seen them live before, and when that guy came out there with that, he's doing a solo on saxophone, and then next thing you know, there's a guy with a harmonica doing a harmonica solo. Then 30 seconds later, there's a guy doing a banjo solo. I'm like, what is happening? This is amazing. I literally cannot get enough of this guy.
Seriously, I gotta check that out.
Well, speaking of banjos, one of Brian's favorite groups, have you checked it out, Brady, is the Petersons.
Oh, yeah?
They are blowing up. Yeah.
You could learn from the Petersons. What you do at home could really turn into something. Here's the cool thing about the Petersons. They don't really have any label or anything. They're totally fan funded, and with your talent personality, you could probably start something very similar and just literally get your songs written and one after another. And what they do is they kind of do cover tunes and some originals mixed in, and they're kind of bluegrass, which I tell you, Brady, I never thought I would end up liking bluegrass. I don't know what they have done to me, but they just have this way of playing Rocky Top, this old song, or just something really old, and just making it so great. And I'm thinking, you could do the exact same thing, because you have this passion for things that are old, and but still impressive. I like that about you. You respect those things, and of course you have the technology of today on your side. And I think you'd be really good at something like that, and starting a music project just on your own.
Yeah, I would love to do something unique. Like I was thinking about it today. I was like, if there was a way to get Elvis Presley's stage presence, Shawn Mendes's voice, a country and pop genre combined,
You're on to
can't go.
something.
You can't fail. You
No,
cannot
not
fail.
at all.
I mean, and you can do all of those things. You can.
Yeah.
It'll just take time to organize it all. And
sure. I hope for that one day.
Well, what you're doing right now, Brian and I, we talked to some big names on the podcast as far as musician wise. Aretha Franklin's son, Teddy Richards, Robert Howard of the Blow Monkeys, and they're all saying the same thing as you. They're all producing music from home. They don't have labels. This is the music era that we live in right now.
It is, yeah. It's getting so easy, unbelievably easy.
It's getting weird, guys. I mean, literally, all the movies are not being made on the coast anymore, and they're coming into other areas. All the big record labels are losing their people, losing them to modern day technology. They're literally sidestepping the whole thing, I mean, like even Adele's album, I think, premiered at like number 3 on iTunes because of some politically charged songs that were ahead of hers. I'm not going to say what they are. I think he knows, but they were like just like parody songs, like making fun of something that was going on in the news, and I'm thinking
pop culture is heavily influenced.
Well said. Pop culture is so, and I mean, everyone has a voice now. And if you have a sharp enough message, it seems like you can get through, and you got a lot of good ideas. So I think you should start really putting out a little bit of content. We just talked to Emily Rosario. What's her last name?
Yeah, Emily Rosario.
And yeah, she is doing a bunch of acting stuff, and she was putting a little originals, the great little songs that she has on. But she's like you, she's a little bit older than you. She has a daughter and stuff like that, but she's out of New York.
Son, yeah.
Yeah. So it was like the first person we talked to in New York, but
yeah,
her, she had this really good, she has like a website. She's a really hard worker. She's like,
yeah, and she started at 15. Remember, she started that Emily is Focused at 15. Little did I know, and she's like 33 now.
Wow.
She does everything, kickboxing, music. She was in that. Do you remember that Facebook commercial for the Super Bowl? The one that was like Rocky and Chris Rock was there. She's standing right next to Chris Rock.
Oh,
yeah.
That's her in the red jacket.
Yeah, literally, she was on our show just the other day, and she's
training for the Olympics.
You remind me totally of her. You're really outgoing. You're like, you're really pushing the envelope on all these things. So you're just gonna do nothing but succeed, and just share. I'm just asking you to share, and someone's gonna see something, and the more you share, I figure the more the odds that that's just gonna happen.
And stay at it.
It's only a matter of time for you, Brady.
And the music, definitely, because you're talented in both areas, and that plays a lot. That helps out a lot.
The role that came across my table, script that came across my table of a musician in high school, for a role of a musician in high school, dream role, right there.
Perfectly suited, right there. Yep. So you want to do anything else on the stream for tonight? Let's see what we got going on. I'm looking at comments here.
Someone did ask
Ron wants you
earlier.
to play Sanitarium if you don't mind. He's a Metallica fan, apparently. I like Ron. He's hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
We all need to do an online jam, all of us. Ron plays the drums. Did you know that?
Yes, I didn't know that.
Do you know his story about how he was going to be a rock star and stuff?
No, actually.
Oh, well, there, Ron, I'm going to tell your story real quick. Ron was this close. They had everything. They had backing. They had everything. But there was an issue with the singer and he had to quit or something.
Oh, wow.
And it was like tragic. I mean, they were truly on the verge of going in and recording and doing something great. Yeah, and it all kind of fell apart because one guy just he had issues that destroyed the whole group or whatever. It made him leave the group and things fell apart. So
yeah,
and that's why. Yeah, Ron's a great drummer apparently.
Yeah, another thing that just I'm really passionate about is like musicians, like nowadays, like singers seem to be getting all the credibility, all the attention. When really, without the musicians, like the people behind it, like the producers, the writers, none of it would have happened, but not a lot of people know about like how much that goes on behind the scenes. Like the singers, like most of them don't produce all their songs, write all their sons, perform all the instruments live. Like, I mean, it just can't happen. So like, it's really important to like give those people noticeability too. Especially, producers and writers who, I mean, most producers, like they sing too, but like they make the beats and literally give it to other people. I mean, it's, and the writers, they're writing songs for other people to listen to. Like it's just crazy.
That is. Yeah. You just don't think about that stuff. You really don't.
You really don't. There's a lot of work that goes behind to it. Like everybody's talking at my school. There's like, yeah, have you listened to this new Kanye song? I'm like, yeah, did you know like a little kid actually made that beat?
That is fascinating. Yeah, gosh, I heard, someone in on house arrest, gave this to Taylor Swift, and now I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh,
who was it? Like Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. He was gonna give away that song like to some other artist. I forget who it was. I think it may have been Camila Cabello.
Okay, yeah.
But I guess his team just convinced him, was like, no, you have to do a song, and now it's a worldwide hit. Like he was about it. He was just like gonna give it away. And now
which song was it?
Shape of You.
Wow. Okay.
And now
I've seen two bands do the same song, and one went, and the other one was just like, music is so weird like that, isn't it? You just don't even really know too. You can write this song and you don't even really know until you unleash it on the world what it's gonna do.
And I don't know if like TikTok nowadays, especially with the younger generation, is so huge. Like there's Benson Boone who blew up from a TikTok. Now he's doing shows. Now he's doing performances on Jimmy Fallon.
This
Ellen.
is exactly what I'm talking about, Brady. Like, you should release some stuff on those things.
You
need to.
I right now I'm doing a lot of Instagram reels. So I like to post a lot of car videos and little snippets here and there. And they're doing pretty good. I've reached about my dashboard on Instagram says I've reached about 15,000 people in the last 15 days.
That's not bad at all.
It's a huge number.
Yeah, that's actually really good. So I'm really focusing on that, trying to get more stuff out there for more people to enjoy. Nowadays it's just so easy.
Do you get enough exercise? You work out? You eat right? How do you keep healthy? What do you recommend?
Yeah, eating healthy.
Yeah.
So we have a Y near us. So sometimes after school, we go there for probably like 2 hours most times, and then we come back home and just get our homework done and go to bed. But yeah, you've always got to do that stuff. The diet is definitely more important though, I feel like, because if you're not eating right and you work out, like you probably aren't going to see any progress. So definitely keeping yourself healthy is very important for life in general. I mean,
too many people don't take food seriously these days.
I know.
I do. They don't. Same here.
Yeah, I mean, I love to cook too. Like, I will.
What's your favorite thing to cook? What would you impress the girl with right now if she were like, yeah, oh, I'm hungry, Brady. What are we gonna do? You're like, no problem. I got this. What are you gonna cook? What?
Chicken Alfredo. Can I go wrong with?
Yeah. Oh, nice. There you go.
Sorry, you cut out. Wow, awesome. Chicken Alfredo. Ugh, that sounds hard.
Pasta is definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, that would impress anybody, definitely.
But I'm excited. I'm actually going to Italy and Greece.
Oy.
Spring break.
Wow.
What a spring break. I mean, one time I went down the Daytona Beach, but Italy and
seriously, wow. Is this a vacation or business or both?
Doing a field trip of a lifetime, and I cannot pass out on this opportunity.
Wow, I mean, with your school friends, awesome.
Literally two of the places that I've want to visit, like, ever. Italy, Greece, and France are my top 3, and I get to go to 2 of them in 1 week. I'm not gonna say no to that. I'm going.
Not at all.
I'm so excited for that, just because, like, you got the food and you got the even the different music. Like, I don't think I've heard like an actual like song, and so it's gonna be really interesting to go over there and like hear this stuff that's popular over there that's not popular at all over here, and different styles too.
Oh, I'm jealous. What did they tell you about any of the stops, the events or anything?
I know we're going to the Coliseum.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the biggest one. And just, I don't really know a lot about Italy, actually. They haven't really like given out the plan yet, just because
I don't know that much either. I wish I could tell you, but I'm sure you're in for an awesome adventure. When does this happen?
Spring break.
Spring break. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, what else are we gonna share? What do you think? Guys? I think this has been a good night, man.
No,
I think
really
we had a successful first test. And
we really have, and that's what's so great about you,
Ron. He's been typing. Thank you, Ron. Jeez, Brady, would you like to get into film scoring? That is Ron. Yeah, that is
something I've tried before, but that is a lot harder.
Sure, I can imagine.
Yeah, I've definitely thought about that, and that's something I actually want to try to do. I tried to make like an Avengers type like theme song, but it really turned out to be more like a Star Wars type thing. I mean, it really had that like dark side form to it. Let me see if I can play it like a I mean, there's always that G note that you gotta hold on to, and then that you always that scale that you gotta go up and down. I would definitely like to look more into that. Ron says we need to have an online jam. It was funny. I was thinking about, is there any way to coordinate something like that with the delays involved in streaming and stuff? Probably not.
But they do it. I interviewed a guy, Simon Toulson Clark, and he did something with, I think it was Roger Water. There was like 16 people during COVID, and they did it perfectly on Zoom.
Gosh.
And this is a hit musician
That'd
from the
be
80s.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might.
I was thinking doing a Christmas special or something, because they did that. Do you know it's Christmas? And just it'd be hard to get everyone to come back on, but if I could coordinate these people coming back on, it'd be unreal.
That would be, yeah. A Christmas special would be definitely unique.
Be a good idea. Yeah. Play a little more for us.
Go for it.
Another trick, if people are looking in the right songs, is 2-finger chords. So basically, 2-finger chords are the most catchy thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And this is G, right? But 2-finger chord is E string, 3rd fret, and G string, 4th fret. And so together it's like, and you can, and that's muted and you can do it like this with the open A string. And so there's just so many things you can do, and you can literally move those 2 fingers around, and that's A, and that's D, B minor, back to A, E minor. And so you got,
Well, that's neat.
And if you're feeling extra fancy, you can throw in that 7 chord, that 7th. Yeah, so there's a lot of things on guitar that people don't know about. Like you can add percussion. So like different strumming patterns. So guitar is definitely, I feel like guitar is the root of most music. Besides piano. Just because with piano you can't really add percussive elements, but with the guitar you have melodies, you have bass, you have percussion, and you have chords all in one thing. I wish there was a person who did all those things only using a guitar for one song. I mean, like John Mayer is probably the closest you're gonna get to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I'm copying his style all day. It's so hard. Oh my gosh, he's such a genius.
Yeah,
and he definitely got me into playing like that too. You're really good for someone who's, self-taught and so young. You're catching on really quick. I can only imagine what would happen if you took a year and really focused on that, but you're on this crazy roller coaster, so you may as well stay on there for a while. This acting thing seems to be treating you really well. You're really modest, and then you're telling a story, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this kid's got real experience. What do you think is next?
Hopefully, I would like to explore some more music stuff.
Mm.
I really like to do that, but I mean, this acting stuff, I just can't get enough of either.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, the cool thing is auditions happen at home, so you can do your music thing too at home. So you'll keep really busy, and keep your school going, and we'll keep live streaming with you, and we'll get you super popular. And man, it's only a matter of time, dude.
It really is. But with your talents and your, looks, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hopefully. Yeah. Speaking of school, it's especially being young and you're filming these movies, and it can get pretty weird at school. Like the other day, somebody came up to me and they're like, "Hey, aren't you that actor kid?" I'm just like,
"Oh, Charlotte's very own Brady Carpenter."
I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But sometimes it gets tough because being this young, trying to do what you love, some people don't want that too. That part really sucks. But I say this all the time. My dad put up a quote on my wall, and it was by Michael Jordan, and he put it like right there. And every morning I'd wake up, and that's the first thing I'd see. The quote was, "I can't accept failure, but I can't accept not trying." And that has stuck with me ever since. And if you have a dream, like, just because other people say you can't do it, I mean, are you really going to give up like that? You know what I'm saying? And so
I never heard him say a negative thing. I love Michael Jordan.
Yes,
you know, he's one of those
Carolina
people
too.
He is one of those people who it just seems like nothing ever got to him, no matter what. No. He wasn't about to say a negative thing, no matter what. I don't think I heard him say one negative thing ever.
For anybody. He's great.
He really Carolina's own. He's from Wilmington.
Smart. Yeah. Good influence. Yeah. Excellent influence. Wow.
Yeah.
Our Hornets.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He is the owner, right?
Yeah.
Or part owner? Is he the full owner or is he part owner?
He is the full owner of the Hornets.
Wow. I didn't know that. Jeez. Wow, what an honor. That's pretty cool, dude.
And just so you know, Brady, they are casting for Carolina Panthers fans if you want to fill the stands.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Oh boy, you're gonna get in trouble for that one.
Nobody has Carolina. Nobody's a Carolina Panthers fan there, are they? Before I was told that from our friend Bill Howard, we got to give a shout out to him. I was told that before that the Panthers came to, this was before your days, that they came to Carolina, everyone was a Washington Redskins fan.
I guess
That's what I heard.
I don't really know about that. I know a lot of people down here are Bills fans.
Wow.
There's so many people from New York that live here now.
Okay.
I guess most people say because taxes are just so high, they move down here and they own these multi-million-dollar houses from how much they're getting paid up there. I mean, it's crazy.
That's smart. That's a smart move down to Carolina. And it's not really that far, is it?
No, it's like, I mean, there's a couple states you got to go through. It's not the closest thing, but I love South Carolina. It's perfect. You got mountains, you got beaches, and you got a city all in one.
Do you plan on staying in North Carolina or?
I would like to, especially after high school. Maybe go to Wilmington just so I can have more access to things that I don't have to go so far away.
That's great. Have you ever thought about applying to go to college there at UNC Wilmington, or are you looking for other options?
No, about that. UNC Wilmington and
it's a great campus. I've been over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look pretty good.
Yeah.
Looking at that actually the other day with my counselor at school.
That's great. As I'm wearing a North Carolina shirt, University of North Carolina. What's so great about you is that you are exactly what this podcast is about, because we're interviewing actors and musicians. We got some great ones up this week. Haley and Spencer of 76th Street. They're out of Scottsdale and they're living in Nashville right now recording their first album, but they put out about 15 singles on Amazon and Spotify and all the platforms. So they've already made singles and they're coming on. It'll be a lot of fun. And then this let me see who else is coming on. Hold on. This week.
And Ron was mentioning in the chat that there are ways to sync up some kind of jam. Man, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it, gentlemen? Jeez, that'd be.
Paul David Stanko out of Minnesota is coming on, and how great would it be to get these artists on? Big names and small names from all over, from Europe, from Minnesota, North Carolina, Atlanta. We got a friend, Ben Brooks Belcher. I'm sure he would come on.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to try to coordinate something, because they got that song, Do They Know It's Christmas? Maybe everyone could play that if you learn.
As long as Ron plays the drums.
Oh, he has. He already did last night.
This is basically
on Flash. You saw the picture, Brian. I sent it to you.
Awesome.
That was classic.
Awesome. I don't want to spoil it. I got to catch up to that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That would be amazing to do.
It really would.
That'd be hilarious.
We'll have to try to
That would be
coordinate
hilarious.
something.
Can you imagine that? Jeez.
I'll be all decked out in Santa gear.
I fear Ron is going to come up with something feasible, and we're going to actually try to execute such a thing. That is a scary thing. That is a scary thought.
Now, is Brian going to play his guitar?
Sure, I would.
There we go. He'd whip it out for that special, premiere.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have to play Sanitarium for Ron because he's a Metallica fan, apparently.
There you go.
Into the chat.
Nice.
Oh, so cool hanging out. It's so cool hanging out with you, Brady. Man, what do you do on the weekends?
Normally it just depends. I know this weekend is going to be a lot of music stuff at home if power doesn't go out. Even then I still have my trusty dusty acoustic guitars I can still play with. Sometimes I'm, out with friends.
I forgot about the weather already. I'm here in Arizona. I forgot you're trapped in there. You're going to be trapped in there tomorrow. I was like, well, there it is. There's the heavy rain that's not going to end for a while. May as well write a song.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's an awesome setup you got there. And you should start releasing a few ideas out into the public.
Yeah.
Especially TikTok, YouTube, you could, you name it.
Yeah. I was back on the idea of more like what goes on behind the scenes. I was thinking of doing something on Instagram Live where I break down some popular songs. Like I have one pulled up. If you guys know who Lil Nas X is, he's a very popular singer rapper.
I've heard of him.
I literally saw his concert on Roblox.
Yeah.
It was history in my mind. Yeah.
And
I really had a video premiere on two videos on the Roblox platform. So all these little characters are, doing their jumping up and down. It was very cute.
Yeah. So cool. I got his full song Montero on the, and right now, you see, there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So wait, that's all broken down digitally?
Yeah, so that's all. That's full produced. But if you hit the organized arrows down on these things, it comes out to 234 different layers in one song.
Exactly what you were doing earlier.
Yeah,
it's exactly what, dude. That is. Oh my gosh! Look at how modern technology is now. This is not the music I learned, gentlemen. We were 4 guys in a garage, and that was it.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, it's so
right,
high quality though. I love this type of stuff, and I was just listening to it. I was like,
Ron, were you ever in a sweaty garage? Ooh.
You got the guitar, and then you have 15
Listen to how simple that is. It's like,
I mean, it's just,
that is sick.
And then banjos, and you can't even hear those, barely. I mean, it's incredible the stuff that they do with this stuff. There's so much ear candy that I notice, at least. When I'm listening to a new song in the car, I'm just like, "Oh, Dad, you hear that violin?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?"
Right. Just barely, just a vague track, subtle.
Yeah. Here with the banjo, I mean,
wow.
It just follows the melody, and
that's awesome. How'd you get that?
It's on Logic. It's free download on Logic Pro X.
My goodness. Yeah. I didn't know such a thing was even available. Huh. That is fascinating. I'm so jealous of the musicians of today. I didn't even have a home computer to do or anything. Little subtle things.
It's like these things, you would not expect that type of stuff in songs today, but that's why he's so popular, because he does the opposite of what's trending and makes it popular. Like, I know most songs today are really like rap songs with basically just drums and a melody, but you know, those guys are like keep on doing it, and I don't know what it is, but it's just blowing up.
It's funny because, you know, I always talked about how the simplicity of a thing, you know, was really the core imagination thing that really made it great. Like, I used to admire, like I was talking about earlier, how we were listening to rap, you know, and in the very beginning, before hip hop or anything, rap was very, very basic. It was rude, it was loud, it was bassy, which that was really different in and of itself. It's like it almost took rap to find that really bassy sound for the first time, and we're like, whoa, I didn't know that just broke my speed, that just broke something, you know. And so we had to build speakers to accommodate that. And then it was like those layers you talk about started to invade it, you know, and before you knew it, there was hip hop being played there with it, over it at the same time. And then, I don't know, at that point, history was just being made left and right.
Yeah, I love old rap, especially their drums.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I think drums. I have some pulled up right here. It's like I'll play some for you, like that, like vintage, like, oof. It's like it's electronic, but at the same time, it sounds so real. Like those drums, I feel like, oh my gosh, they're blowing up nowadays too, especially with Kanye and Kendrick Lamar and those type of guys, those really popular guys right now. They're using those drums. They used to be popular back in the 90s. And again, like for pop music, like Britney Spears and Elton John just came out with a new song, and it is so heavily influenced in 2000s, like dance music. Like, I'm just starting to notice, like, everything is going back to the roots. Everything's going back to like day one.
I love that too. And you know, it's funny because if you can take these styles and make it anything you want. I used to do an acoustic version of Baby Hit Me Baby One More Time, literally, because I saw Blink 182 do it. And I was like, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I would pull it out at a party and people go, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. You know, I would do it at karaoke, you know, it's like Nirvana or something. It's the simplicity of it. You know, you see like the Foo Fighters, they're great. They're great. You know, their Offspring, it's almost like the Offspring of Nirvana, but their songs are really, really high energy, really complicated. Yeah. But it was the simplicity of Nirvana that really I'll always remember. Yeah, the Foo Fighters are great, you know, but I won't remember it because of how talented they were. I'll remember it because of just how a simple idea like the beat you started tonight, you know, just that basic thing. Yeah, you can decorate it up to be a birthday cake if you want, you know, but I think what you got is your musical gift is you can recognize things as you're building, you know, you're throwing things together and it's like, did you hear that?
It's like a really big puzzle.
Yeah, it's got a million pieces and there's a million ways to put it together, but only certain ways are really, really like catchy. And we saw you do it right in front of our eyes tonight, come up with a nice catchy thing in about 6 seconds.
That is crazy. There's a million ways to do it. Oh my gosh, I completely agree with, like, you can layer some melodies the same. And this is how I normally make songs. You put a loop on for 9 bars, and you just make like the biggest chorus, and then you separate all the parts. You pick out different pieces to make the verse. You pick out different pieces to make the pre-chorus, and then you take all the pieces and make them the chorus. And then you might have to change up, some chords here and there for the bridge just to make it a little less repetitive. But if you take a song and you just put it into 9 bars, it's really all it is. I mean, you might have some ear candy left and right, I mean, there's always like some, you can get some snaps in or some, there's, there's always some things you can change the sounds a million times and make it so much better. Like I have some things I pre-recorded, and I'll just pull some up right here because they're just, let's see if I can, well, maybe not that one.
Hey, I bet you if you had to do something with that, you'd impress yourself.
Yeah. You know what? Let's try this. This is what I do with my parents sometimes. Give me a number 1 through 6.
3.
3. This is my 3rd loop. All right, so we can take that one again, put it on a loop for 9 bars, and then let's try 1 through 4.
4.
Perfect. What is that one? It's kind of like a electric guitar with heavy sidechain. See what else there is. Can't go wrong. It's the simplest thing you can do to start a song is, forward kick drums. And so right now, all you've got is 3 loops stacked on top of each other, which is
That's awesome. That's so catchy, man. Just like that.
And then you can change the sound one time, put that guitar into a different, let's go down here, put it in a different style. So Britain clean, and then keep the drums the same maybe, and then you got a completely different vibe. I mean, it's just endless amounts of things that you can do. And then you put the beat on that I don't know. Name an instrument.
Saxophone.
Saxophone. Okay. That might work. Then you go down here with orchestra, brass. Well, let's try that again. There we go.
Throw a bass in there.
Yeah, we can throw a bass in there. Saxophone. Here we go. But here's saxophone as that little like. Let's take it down an octave because saxophone can't really play that high. Put that down there. What note is that? Is it a B? Perfect. There's a saxophone for you. Right? And then you said the bass. Get a bass in.
There it is. That's what I wanted. There's some 1980s Beverly Hills Cop bass.
There we go.
Even that with just like the kick drum, that could be a verse. You can already like start like.
Oh yeah.
Ideas you got with that, like.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Oh yeah.
You could
yeah. You're a natural.
Why not? And it picks up the bass. and then all together, I mean, you got. I mean, that's that. Wow.
Right.
That's
Better than half the stuff that's out there right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're good at this, definitely. Well, it's been a couple hours, gentlemen, and I'm gonna get back to my children.
Yeah.
It's been really, really, really great, Brady. We're gonna do this a lot. I hope a lot. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. This is really cool. And what was I gonna say? Oh, that country roads thing you were gonna do for us. Maybe next time.
Yes,
sure.
maybe
You can do that. And let's see if Ron is still here. No, I think I don't know if he's still here, but I just want to thank Ron for coming and everybody for watching tonight. And Brady, I know it was a little rough and a little raw, but this is our very first live stream. And it really meant a lot to us.
Oh, it was our pleasure to have you be our first guest.
And once we met you, we knew you were special. Let me just put it that way. And I talked 100%. To Mark, and I'm like, you know what? Let's make Brady definitely our first one, because this kid is really putting in the work. And I don't know many people like you. Let me just put it that way.
No, I didn't know many people in high school. Did you, Brian?
No.
They were this talented? Not at all.
And so it's only a matter of time, dude. And I can't wait to see it happen. I'm gonna see it happen. I'm convinced of that. It's not even gonna take that long. So let's just make sure we keep in touch, and you come back often. And maybe you can come in and out of the other live streams, and I just want to be there and help support you. And gosh, I don't even know. I'm getting kind of tongue tied here because I'm getting a little sentimental. But thank you for doing this.
Yeah,
and
it's
we'll
really
have
another
helping
great
us out
live
too.
Stream next week, so we're looking forward to it.
I'm very excited for the future.
Yeah,
especially you got a good thing going on.
Thanks.
We really do. Yeah.
Thanks. Well, we're all gonna help each other, man. Right?
That's what it's about. That's what this world takes. So,
well, I had a really great time tonight, dude.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, we'll do it again soon.
Yeah. Take care, everyone.
See you later, Brady. Have a good night.